A few years ago, a man whom everyone admired for his wisdom told me this. For a long time, I was trapped in my thoughts. I couldn't sleep without replaying my entire day. I imagined every possible future, every word spoken or misunderstood. I thought it was normal. Until the day I realized that my mind wasn't free, but overloaded. It was only by discovering Stoicism that I learned to breathe in my mind, to regain inner silence. That silence might be what you're missing today. You may recognize yourself in this noisy, exhausting mind. These scenarios on loop, yesterday's regrets, tomorrow's fears, these imaginary dialogues that steal your energy. But imagine for a moment what your life would become if you found calm. If you could think more clearly, decide more simply, and live with more inner strength. It's possible, and the ancient Stoics have left us a map to achieve it. Concrete practices applicable starting today. You don't need to be a philosopher. You just need to want to change. What you are going to hear can transform not only your mind, but your entire way of living. Breathe deeply and let's stay together until the end. Surely, it has happened to you to lie down at night, tired, but unable to sleep because your mind refuses to stop. Memories resurface, worries about tomorrow, scenarios you endlessly imagine. And it's not necessarily because something serious is happening in your life. It's simply that your mind has become your master instead of your servant. This chapter invites you to observe this invisible mechanism that fuels inner turmoil. The first step towards peace is clarity about the nature of your thoughts. The Stoics tell us, it is not what happens that troubles a person, but the opinion they form about it. This often cited phrase contains a crucial truth. A large part of our suffering comes from unnecessary thoughts. These are the thoughts that repeat, constantly judge, and anticipate anything and everything. They are not objective. They react to our past wounds, our need for control, our fear of the unknown. They arise on their own, without a filter. And as long as we do not recognize them for what they are, they govern our emotions. Stoicism offers a powerful yet simple method to begin regaining control. Stoic writing. Take a notebook or a sheet of paper. Each day, write down what you think without censoring yourself. It's a mental emptying. You put on paper what you ruminate on. Only then can you see the recurring patterns. Is it always the fear of disappointing? The fear of others' opinions? The worry of not having enough? This writing work creates a distance between you and your thoughts. And this distance is a lever of freedom. A useful exercise then is to separate what you observe as real facts and what you interpret emotionally. For example, my colleague did not greet me is a fact, but he does not like me is an interpretation. Do you see the difference? A large part of the discomfort comes from these interpretations that are taken as truths. And this confusion fuels mental exhaustion. The more you learn to distinguish what you know from what you invent, the less you are a prisoner of your mind. It is also important to understand that these intrusive thoughts are not enemies. They are like signals. They show you what you fear, what you avoid, what you deeply feel. But you must not let them define you. The Stoics viewed thoughts like clouds. They pass by. You observe them, but you don't have to climb aboard. The neutral observation of your thoughts is an act of inner strength. This chapter is therefore fundamental. You cannot calm your mind if you do not know what agitates it. In a world where everything seems uncertain, where news scrolls by at lightning speed, where others change their minds overnight, there is a Stoic truth that is often forgotten. You do not have power over everything, but you always have power over yourself. This idea seems simple, but it is revolutionary when deeply understood. It is even liberating because it gives you control again, where you felt powerless. And above all, it instantly reduces your level of anxiety. What the Stoics called the dichotomy of control is this ability to clearly distinguish what depends on you and what does not depend on you. Your speech, your attitude, your emotional response, your ability to remain dignified. All that is in your hands. But the actions of others, the weather, the past, the thoughts of a stranger, the results are not. And the more you want to control what doesn't depend on you, the more you suffer. It's a universal law. In summary, this chapter teaches you this. Your peace begins where your need to control what eludes you ends, and it grows when you double your commitment to what truly depends on you. In practice, this requires daily attention, a form of inner vigilance. But once you clearly see the boundary, you gain a freedom that few people achieve. And that's where true Stoic strength begins. You can have a busy life, be surrounded, active, performing, yet feel a constant inner restlessness, as if your mind is constantly racing. You get up already feeling rushed, moving from one task to another without really breathing. And in the evening, even in silence, your mind doesn't stop. This inner race is one of the major sources of modern discomfort. And yet, nothing forces you to go that fast on the inside. The Stoics, they lived in a noisy world. Rome, its markets, its armies, its political intrigues. And despite this turmoil, they cultivated one thing: inner calm. This calm, they did not achieve it through isolation, but through discipline. They learned to slow their mind amidst the hustle, not to escape, but to see better, act better, choose better. They understood that a rushed mind is a blind mind. A good starting point is to create a moment of voluntary silence every day. Not a forced or empty silence, but an inhabited silence. Sit for 5 minutes, without a phone, without a screen, without stimulation. Breathe. Simply observe what stirs within you. It's not a complicated meditation. It's just a break you give yourself. A breath for your soul. And this break will gradually slow down your nervous system. Slowing down doesn't mean becoming sluggish or passive. On the contrary, it's a form of sharp intelligence, because by slowing down, you regain your clarity. The Stoic is never in a panic. He is like a calm soldier before the battle. He prepares his mind to be free, to be stable. This calmness is a silent strength, a natural authority that inspires even without speaking. And it always starts with a small step, daring to stop to advance better. The Stoics, long before meditation became fashionable, already spoke of this complete presence in the moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Focus on the moment you are living." For him, all wisdom begins there, in what you are doing here, now, because the present is the only thing that truly exists. It is the only moment you can touch, transform, live. The rest is just image, illusion, or memory. When you are in the present, you come out of confusion. You stop fighting a fixed past or an uncertain future, and that changes everything. The heart slows down, the mind becomes clearer, and you reconnect with what is simple: your breathing, your voice, your sensations. You no longer think your life, you truly live it. And it is this immersion in the moment that cuts off the flow of automatic thoughts. A simple technique to return to the present: the triple awareness. Look around you and gently name 3 things you see, then 3 things you hear, then 3 sensations you feel in your body. This exercise grounds you. It only lasts 1 minute, but it creates a space between you and the mental storm. You become an observer again. You become the actor of your consciousness and no longer a victim of your thoughts. A Stoic is not someone disconnected from life. On the contrary, he is fully present in everything. He doesn't eat while thinking about tomorrow. He doesn't speak while thinking about what people will say about him. He is fully in the present act. It is not a performance. It is a way to free oneself from mental distraction. And this focus is a source of peace and quiet strength. Returning to the present is therefore a habit to cultivate every day. The more you practice it, the more your mind becomes your ally. The less you are carried away, the less you overreact, and the more you feel a form of inner stability, even when everything is moving around you. I wanted to take a moment to congratulate you on your personal development journey. By watching this video, you are already taking a step toward a stronger and wiser version of yourself. Speaking of education, Epictetus said, "Only education makes one free." A timeless truth that we fully embrace here. And for those who subscribe to the channel, we promise to make this channel a true sanctuary of wisdom, deep reflection, and concrete tools to help you elevate your mind and transform your daily life. Save this video or share it with your loved ones as a gift, so they too can benefit from these powerful teachings. And don't forget to leave your viewpoint on the video in the comments and share your thoughts to interact with the community. Together, let's cultivate inspiration. Unlimited. Overthinking is often in action. You know that moment. Your mind goes in circles, analyzing every detail, imagining all possible outcomes, but you do not move. You are frozen in the mind. And this blockage gives rise to more doubts, more anxiety, more frustration. The Stoics saw this paralysis as an inner poison. Their remedy? Action. Always, even small, even imperfect. Seneca said, "We suffer more in our imagination than in reality." He was right. Most of the time, what exhausts us is not the real world, but our interpretation of the world. The chaos you experience in your head is often much harsher than what you would face if you took action. The mind amplifies, dramatizes, delays, but movement clears the fog. When you act, you reconnect with reality. You step out of your mental. You enter the tangible world, and that's where you find your power. A simple task, a micro-action, a decision can silence an inner storm, because action is clear, concrete, defined. It contrasts the mental blur with the solidity of the present. Don't know what to do? Start small. Call someone. Tidy up one thing. Take a shower, walk aimlessly, open a notebook and write one line. Breathe deeply. The idea here is not to solve everything, but to break the cycle of the spinning mind. Action is the silent lever that lifts the mind from these invisible ties. It breaks in action with a simple, "I do." Throughout this video, you have discovered that calm is not an innate gift, but a daily practice. So, I now invite you to train, not to master everything at once, but to practice a little each day. Even just one of these principles can transform your days. If this video helped you, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing it with those who overthink and deserve some peace. Tell us in the comments which practice you will try tonight. And remember, what you choose to think is already what you choose to become. Thank you for your presence. Stay calm, stay powerful, stay free.